Shalom, this is Sophia, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and I'm poolside somehow. And while I have a minute, I just wanted to discuss the children's or kids' readings that I have. So this is why I wanted to be up. But here's the thing. Kids' readings are really important. The primary reason that they're so critical is that it can help you to understand how to direct your child. And so what I did for my kids was I pulled their chart and their guardian angels, and then I also pulled their human design. So the kids' readings that I have available are the kids' charts, their birth chart in the different formats, the regular format, the whole sign house, and also their human design chart. And I think that's one price. And then if you want, let's just talk about that. Knowing their sign and their guardian angel and all that stuff is really, really helpful. I'll just give some examples of what I've done with that information. So when I sent, when my child went to, she went to Dominican Republic with her father. Because I knew her saint, I did a specialized prayer with her saint, which I probably will release that, the prayer to do with your saint and what to say. Anyway, I did a specialized prayer with her saint, and I, so that she would get there and back safely. And just to know, like, how that works, or how that worked in my case, was that there was a hurricane that was approaching. So their flight left a day late. They started their trip a day late because of the hurricane, so they were stuck on stateside. It was perfect while they were there, no rain, no nothing. And then when they arrived back, and then they got home, that's when the hurricane Adelia mollywopped the Caribbean, and then came up in Mollywop, Florida, and Georgia. So I know that what I do works. So that's the only. There's no other. The hurricane sat still for a whole entire day, one full day. Never ever heard of. Never heard of. And even I thought that was weird. I was like, that thing sat still for a whole day. Why did it do that? Well, my child was on the islands, and so once she was safely back stateside and we were literally at home, that thing started moving again. That's not a coincidence. That's not like something that is just, that's a coincidence. No, it sat still for a day while she was literally not here. So I do know that. I'm just like super uncomfortable in this chair. I need my chair. I should go get my chair out the van. So I do know that it works. That's one thing. And it's like these chairs, like, anyway. So that's one thing. Sorry, my necklaces. All right. So the other thing that you need to know with your kids, or what is helpful, is their human design. Now, the human design, we haven't gotten into that really deep, but we will, because your human design tells you how you respond to things. So all of my children are different. I have one manifester, one generator, and one projector. I will never treat them all the same because I understand that they are literally different. So my projector, I don't ask her to do too much. When I do, I just condense it into a few sentences, and I make it as targeted as possible. Like, help me do this. I'm going to do that. You do this. This is what we have to get done. You do this part. Very, very targeted. The generator, I can go back and forth and say, well, what do you think about this? Or what do you think? What do you think? How do you feel? What do you think this is? Is this a good idea? It's a bad idea? What do you think? The generator I can go back and forth with. Okay? The manifester I don't know yet. Although the manifester, I have to kind of just like produce for him, because the manifester has the tendency to just like take stuff. Like, look, you're taking too long to get my juice. I'm just going to take this juice sitting right here. Or like, he will walk up to me and just point in his mouth when I have something, especially juice, that he wants. Very, very unusual, but I'm already seeing how that thing is playing out. And the generator, the manifester is too. So I can already see how this thing is playing out. And so it's very helpful to know that, because I know that the generator, I can give her a bunch of instructions and she'll do all the stuff. The manifester, one instruction at a time. Just one. I mean, the projector, one instruction at a time. And so if you have this information on your kids and you know how to treat them, you also know not to, you know, who needs what. Generators are most of the population. Generators, you could just set them on a task and they'll just go. It's not going to be a problem. Like I said, projectors, you got to be very specific. Try not to overdo it with the task. And I don't know about manifestors, but I'm keeping my eye on my manifester. I have a feeling that it's going to be kind of like the same as a projector, like very specific, certain things, targeted tasks, especially finding things, going and get this thing, go and put this in the trash. Like, he's good at that. Go and put this in the trash. That's a thing. He gets to accomplish a thing. That's fine. The generator, if I ask her to put something in the trash, she's got 12,000 like sentences to go along with it. Do you want me to put this in the trash? What about this? Is this okay to put in the trash? Do you think I should put that in the trash? I mean, it's a bajillion questions to go along with it. And of course, the projector, she doesn't even know what I'm talking about when I say put this in the trash. She's like, what? Oh, I don't see it. Like, she just doesn't see it. It just doesn't occur. Doesn't exist for her. So that's the difference between all of these different things. So for kids, especially, like I said, this is helpful, especially when you're going to be looking at new school options, where you're going to be trying to figure out, you know, what is good, what is helpful, how to pick after school activities, how to direct them into what's good for them. A lot of that stuff is in their chart and also in their human design. It's not that they can't do everything. It's just that they'll be better at some things other than other things. So if you have a generator, they could pretty much do like anything, you know, like whatever menial task. You know, they're good at that kind of stuff. What are those things called? People who work in like fast food and stuff like that. Generators could do that all day. A projector. No, a projector I would put behind a desk with a specific task, like what is those things? A typewriter, clerical, secretarial, something like that. You know, it's not the same for everybody, because you can look at their angels and figure out kind of what they're here to do. So you use the two data sets together. But the most important thing about the manifestors, the children in general, all of them, is that you don't want too much information. You don't want to impede their free will. You want them to, you don't want them to feel like they've got to do a certain thing, because we do have free will. We do have to have our experiences. What we don't want to do is what our ancestors did, which is, okay, I was a teacher, so now you have to be a teacher. Oh, I went to college, so you have to go to college. Oh, I did this, so you have to do that. No. We don't want to do that. And it's not that they can't. This is not even about can or can't. This is about impeding on free will. Our ancestors impeded on free will all the time. I'm an AKA, you got to be an AKA. Oh, I'm an alpha, you need to be an alpha. And they pass that crap all the way down. Oh, I didn't sit on the bus, you can't sit on the bus. You know, this kind of stuff. You don't, oh, I grew up here, you grew up here. Oh, I grew up like this, you must grow up like that. No, I was in church, you got to be in church too. No, No, we don't want to force this kind of stuff on our ancestors. It's really, on our children. It's really not helpful. However, you don't want to, direct them towards the stuff that would be good for them. You don't want to deliberately let them go down a bad path. That's what I'm saying. So you don't have to force them to do what you did. However, you do want to kind of, direct them in the way that's going to be helpful for them and that's going to be good for them. So I don't, I only present this information as hopefully will be helpful. So that's as far as the birth charts. Now, the astroterography on the website is something totally separate. It's not combined with anything else because it's just too complicated to combine with other stuff. It really just is. And so instead of doing that, it's its own separate thing. So the things that you can get for kids for astroterography is the Spiral of Fortune. That's very good. The Spiral of Fortune is just the major angles on the kids' chart. And I go through and tell them how this is kind of going to show up for them. That's very helpful. The other thing is the roots of the tree reading. Now, let me explain this reading a little bit, because on the website, I talk about if you're under 36, you don't need a fruits of the tree reading really until you're until you're 28, 29 at least. And that reading is going to basically follow you for nine years, or about 9 years. And at 37, let me describe this. So the roots of the tree reading, here's how the roots of the tree goes. From years 1, year ending with 1 to year ending with 9, you go through each of those placements. And then you start over again from year ending with 10 to year ending 18. You go through the same exact order that's in the roots of the tree. Again, the third time, you go through the same thing again from year 18 to year 27. The same exact thing. Every year you have a different energy to deal with on the roots of the tree. This gives you 3 full revolutions to learn how to deal with your shadow. The same stuff is going to come up. If you look at your life, if you got one of these readings, because I didn't know this until recently. If you got one of these readings and you look at your life from year 1 to 9, 9 to 18, 19 to 27, the same exact thing happened over and over and over again. You thought you was crazy. No, it's because you were given the energies, but you were given the energies over a whole year. 1 whole year to deal with the energies. So when you turn 28, you can get a fruit of the tree reading for 28. That fruit of the tree reading is going to be the same thing. It's going to be a different energy every year from 27 to 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 27 to 36. When you turn 37, these energies, you could get a progressions reading. If you're over 37, you get that about a month before your birthday. This is going to tell you, this is when the progressions reading is when you get literally every single year or every single 36 days is a new energy. So from the beginning of your year, actually when, on your birthday, you get the energy that's associated with your day, with the card of your day, depending on the date you were born. You get that energy for the day of your birthday and 2 days after. Then 2 days after your birthday, on the third day after your birthday, oh my goodness, on the third day, you start those energies of 36. And I know this because this happened to me. On the third day after my birthday, the energy totally switched. And my birthday card is really good. So I could feel, and my energies this year are really horrible. So I could feel this. I immediately recognized, holy smokes, this is not even the same energy. I was just doing fine, and now the energy is different. And so I have to deal with this. Matter of fact, y'all pray for me, because my energies for the whole year are horrible. I am not going to have a good year energy-wise. I did not have a good year last year energy-wise. I'm not going to have a good year next year energy-wise. I don't think it's going to be until I hit 45 when I get out of this energy, at least 40, but really 45 when I get out of this energy vortex that I'm in. It's really bad. So for me, so I suggest, anyway, not suggesting. I'm just telling everybody this is how it goes. It's pretty bad for me. But anyway, so you don't need this until you turn 36. 37, when you're on 1 month out, if you're not 37 yet, 1 month out before 37, you get a progressions reading. Every 36 days the energy will change, and then this leaves you with a remainder of 5 days. So 2 days before your birthday, you get the energy of your birthday card on your birthday. So it's a total of 5 days that you're in that energy of your birth card. And if you have bad energy, then that's when I say, okay, you want to be fasting at that time. You want to, there's more information that's going to come up on how to deal with this. I haven't gotten all of that information yet. I don't know all of it, so I can't share that with you because I'm learning this as we go, as it's dealing with me. But I'm telling you, once you turn 36, you're going to have to. So this is another thing. If you are an older person and you have a kid that's 34, 35, getting ready to be 36, or you yourself are about to be 36, getting ready to be 37, let me explain something to you right now. Do not try not to make any major moves, because the difference between having a whole year to deal with the energy and having 36 days to deal with the energy is nowhere near comparable. It is really, really tough. And it takes that whole 9-year cycle of dealing with the energies every 36 days just to figure out how this thing works. Like, it's not good. It's not pleasant. I just don't recommend it. So, yeah, I'm just suggesting that you, if you're older, when your kid gets about 35, 36, they're getting ready to go to that age, you could just say, hey, you might want to move back home, have some money saved because they're going to need it. Whatever you can, that's the age when everything starts to fall apart. If they're married, they'll get divorced, or whatever crazy stuff. It's going to be all at that time. So it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. That age 37 to about 45. I think it's the whole 9 years. It's just tough. And I'm about a year into it, I guess, 2 years. And I feel like I understand it, but I'm working really, really hard. So if you're not doing anything to understand it, you'll just look back on that age from 37 to about 45 and say, what the heck, man, this is horrible. What did I do with my life? You know what I mean? And you can ask people, if you're a younger person, ask your parents, hey, what was it like when you were 36? Most of them will say, oh my God, it was the worst time of my whole life. I don't know what happened. Everything just fell apart. Well, the reason everything fell apart is because the energy shifted. And you went from having a whole year to deal with the energy to every 36 days, this energy is switching out on you. And, this is something that our elders, should have told us. And they didn't, because they either didn't know or they didn't care, enough to document how these things were happening so that we could, do something with that information. So you have to really, this is no offense against the ancestors or anything like that, because maybe they didn't know, nobody told them, I don't know. But I'm just saying, this is what you can do for your kids. So this is one of the reasons why I tried to figure out what was appropriate for kids and what was not, because, I want to know how to best help my kids, but I don't want to force them to do anything. Because then there's also the card system. So like, I didn't put this reading up there, and I haven't decided. I might. But you can see what card is related with your child, and figure out that'll tell them more about what they're supposed to do. So my generator is supposed to be a philanthropist. It's like, well, how's she going to be a philanthropist? Like a patron of the arts literally is what her card is. So it's kind of like patron of the arts. That's kind of crazy. So, but that's what she's like, a queen of diamonds, you know. That's just what she is. So, you know, I can see that in her, the way that she acts and the type of stuff that she likes and all of that. So there's, you know, there's validity there, and even my card and whatever. So I need to probably put those readings up. Maybe I'll just throw that in there when you get another reading. Yeah, if you want to know your card, just let me know. If you already got a reading from me and you want to know your card, let me know, and I'll throw that in there as a bonus if you get another reading from me. Just remind me. I'll try to, because if I go back now on my website, I have to read. Oh God, I'm not trying to do that. It's just going to be a bonus, a freebie. You get a bonus card reading. And that will be on the playing card system. I gotta find out what that's called again too. But anyway, it's not a problem. Because that information is, especially for the kids, because then you can kind of like direct them towards what they should be involved in, and not make them do stuff that's clearly the opposite. So for example, that's like me trying to make the projector do cheerleading. Like, that's not really gonna, like, I do want her to do pageants, because pageants are more focused and specialized, or she likes theater and stuff like that. But like cheerleading, like basic general cheerleading, where you have to keep a smile on your face and jump up and down and be excited, no. For a projector, absolutely not. For my generator, absolutely. That kind of dance, that kind of thing, absolutely. That is right up her alley. For my projector, no. It's just like for my manifester, he likes cars, you know. So that's definitely something I will keep in mind. He loves cars, trucks everywhere. He takes them apart, he puts them back together. His thing is trucks. So for my manifester, I will definitely keep him, you know, driving little cars, building cars, playing with cars, stuff like that. That's what he likes. That's what I would do for him. So this is how the usefulness of human design with children. Now, you know, if you're in a relationship, also very useful. Okay, what is your partner? You know, my old man is a manifesting generator, so I know for a fact that I don't have to be involved with whatever he's doing. He could do, and I could just let him go. I don't have to have no parts of it at all. And me, you can't tell, I'm a generator, so I can generate all. I don't manifest, you know. I don't manifest, so I have to use quote unquote magic, because I don't manifest. That's not something that's been granted to me. So when you don't manifest, you have to use magic. You don't have no choice. If you want to get something, you have to use magic, because you can't manifest it. Manifestors can use magic too, but a generator cannot manifest. Just it doesn't work that way. I don't manifest. I generate. So I have to, you know, use. It's almost like using the magic to present a divine. Oh Jesus! It's like, what in the world? These kids, man. Using the magic as a point to give myself something to respond to. You know, that's kind of like what it is. It's like creating something to respond to. And that's why you got to use magic, you know, in its proper order, sparingly with other things, because you are the one who's responding to it. Your higher self, your spiritual team, but you have to give them something to respond to, and it has to be right. And if you do this stuff out of order, then it's all messed up. Now the sun is gone. So, so it's very important to, you know, this information is very important. This is why I, suggest this for what I suggest for children. And then the other readings, I'll do another video and talk about that. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I wanted everybody to understand kind of what's going on and how this information is going to be disseminated. So this is specifically, this video, again, wrap up, is specifically about children's readings, usefulness of children's readings, and then I have a part in there about the astroterography. I'm probably going to clip that out and put it on whatever that thing is I have, TikTok. So, shalom everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.